Hugh wrote that his time in church was truly hell, but not for the reason you're thinking. He was involved in a church 20 years ago in San Francisco, and because he was gay, and when they were starting to praise gay things, he thought this was great. I can go to church with my partner, we can be loved, we can hear a sermon about ecological justice, everything's going to be fine. But he found that to do that, weren't teaching the Bible, they were teaching politics. And he found that they had no concern for his soul. He said the church kind of treated him like a little kid. They patted him on his head and said, "Great, now give us money," but had no concern for his soul. He said they had as much concern for his soul as the local Denny's has for your soul, which is nothing. He wanted a church that actually told him the truth. He wanted a church that actually loved him enough to be concerned about his soul, not just to take his money. Isn't that the kind of church you want too? A church that just pats you on the head is, well, really sending you to hell, isn't it? His words, not mine. Psalm 114. Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob. If you go to church and it never tells you you're sinful, never humbles you before God, well, that's a church that pats you on its head. It'll take your money just like the Denny's waitress will, but it has no real concern for your soul. Hugh's prayer is that God would use him and others to say, look for a church that gives you the truth, a church that goes to the scriptures, not just tells you what you want to hear. If you're part of a church that says that, great. If you're not part of a church where you hear the scriptures, but you hear some social justice sermon, or you're not part of a church at all, there is something more to love people's souls, to tell them hard truths, to sit with them in challenging times so that they would know that church is not hell. It's the closest we can get to heaven because it points us to heaven. Points us what we've done wrong, but what Jesus has done right for us. And heaven is our home by faith in Christ.